Hey, Anel, are you excited for Death Stranding 2? I am. I'm so excited for it, I'm deluding myself into thinking that I'm gonna play it when I know I'm not gonna play it. I mean this, I don't want this to get taken out of context. Out of everything that I saw from State of Play yesterday, it was the most interesting looking thing by far. Versus, hey, we remade Silent Hill 2, but it looks worse. From the creator of BioShock, it's BioShock, and then like a bunch of cinematic action games where like you get the most exciting part of the game is like a movie where you press the X button from time to time. Hideo Kojima is, I don't want to say he's the only like real auteur working in games, but he's the only one who seems to get like carte blanche to make whatever he wants, and that's great. In a world where like every game it seems AAA, well, Dragon's Dogma 2 looked really good too, I'll admit that, but in an era where every game seems to be made mostly just to be like, hey, it's like a loot treadmill live service game to kind of, you know, keep you buying battle passes once every 4 to 6 weeks. There is like one developer who has like the Netflix money, you know? He's like David Fincher. They're like, make whatever you want. Here's, I don't know, $100 million. I don't know the specifics of it. And he's weird, and I respect that. I loved, and you might say, how can you love a game you never finished? I love Death Stranding, and I'll go to bat for that. The reason I bounced off of it is because he's still making video games at the end of the day. The delivering parts were really fun in that game to me. The building of the infrastructure was really fun to me. The layered on social aspects of that game were really interesting to me, and the narrative was dynamite. The reason I got annoyed with playing it is I don't want the boss battles with the guns. I don't want to have stealth sections where I'm creeping through oil trying to avoid, you know, like creepy goo ghosts and stuff like that. I just want to be, I don't think the gaming industry is here yet, especially with like AAA, but I don't want the parts. I mean, kind of want to see the guitar that shoots lightning, but I don't really want to be like, hey, Sam, while you're like delivering your packages, you gotta watch out. We're going through a section of atomic goo. If anything hears you, a big goo whale is gonna swallow you up. I just want to go chung chung chung. I've delivered 100 rations of Shin Ramen to like Nicholas Winding Refn, and then he gives me enough credits so that I can get like better legs so that I can climb a steeper slope, and then I take some of my other resources and I build like an electric generator so that other players that are in my instance can like drive their cars on the road. Like that seems so much cooler to me than the other stuff. But at least someone is doing it, man. Like he has the access to resources and the weirdness in his brain to at least make something interesting instead of Suicide Squad, Kill the Justice League. And I would never criticize Hideo Kojima for at least following the beat of his own heart, okay? What about Remedy? Well, it's kind of the same thing. Like, I loved Control, and I think that all the stuff that they did narratively in Control and with the design of the sets and stuff like that was beautiful. It's just this, at the end of the day, I don't want to have, like, all that stuff interrupted by, like, now nameless, faceless enemies just appear from the walls and you got to go ta 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 ta. Even if you got cool like psychic powers, I want like the more of the mystery sort of element and less of the actual like the rote combat. Like that's what bogs it down for me. But like we're still we haven't freed our minds yet, because like people were like, you like the boring parts? No, the combat is the boring part. It's like watching, you know, Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind or something and being like, they should really have like a fight scene in this. No, it's just like some games need the combat and the stealth or the quips. Like they can work as long as you build the experience around it. For me, the most interesting parts of those games are when they shake off the yoke of like, hey, you know, you got to get more ammo for like your super gun. And instead, you can actually just be interested. That's and I don't even think it's a controversial opinion. I thought it was before I started talking, but now everybody seems to be agreeing with me. So I feel pretty basic. But if Death Stranding, I swear it to you, as I understand it right now, this is my current like temperature on my thermostat. If Death Stranding was 80 hours long, that's fine. If they just removed all of the combat, except maybe for like some boss battles or something like that. Now, I'm not a game designer. I don't know how that would work. I feel like I could stream the entire game if it was just 90-minute cutscenes and a lot of walking and driving a car and like trying to figure out how I'm going to get over that hill without breaking my legs or spilling, too many cup noodles. But there's no shot I'm doing 80 hours of it if even like a quarter of the game is watching out for like ghosts that are in the sky and then dodging like goo fish and stuff like that. It's just not going to happen. But maybe I'll watch like a super cut of the cutscenes at least. Watch it on the Peloton. I'd love to, but they haven't added YouTube yet. They're still figuring out how to get YouTube on that thing. Even with Disney Plus, like I try to be very economical with my button presses, because if you tap once, sometimes it takes like 30 seconds for it to register, like because it registers the tap on the screen. This mana build is going insane. It registers the tap on the screen, but then like it has to ping like the Disney Plus server through whatever like jury-rigged sort of setup the Peloton HQ is using. So I feel like it's like it goes to their servers, which then goes to Disney, and then Disney sends something back, and then it comes back to me. So I like, you scroll, and then it's like continue watching, and I press the button, and then I just take my hands away, like caught.
I'm traveling down the road and I'm squirting with disaster. Got my finger up my bum and my wrist is moving faster. Got my denim on the floor and someone comes a knocking. Please don't open the door, I'm still stroking my cock and squirting with disaster, babe. Y'all don't know what I mean. Okay, that's all I got, but I think they went longer than expected.
That was crazy.
Dang.
Yeah. You didn't have that written down?
No, it came to me in a dream.